Hi, I'm Liv, and I'm here to tell you about a Thrifty Notion's December featured fabrics collection. So our theme for December is literature. All of these fabrics were chosen for, firstly, the color scheme. It's pretty monochrome. Then we use literary terms as the names for all of the various fabrics, so it's kind of fun. We like a theme, gives us a way to focus our energy a little bit, and it's fun. Let's see, we got quite a stack of synthetics this month with a few really fun natural fibers thrown in as well. We had some interesting suitings. So if you're thinking about getting a little more tailored again, I'm finding that we're all just very slowly coming out of the 2020 hangover. I recently saw a stat about how much time we spend outside of our homes with other people, and it was dropping, but it like really dropped obviously in 2020 when we all just stayed home. But like, we've been staying home and not going back out. We're just now emerging. Like, the numbers are starting to come back to where they were. I can see it in my city park. It's been so weird. Like, this year I see people out having picnics, and so many more dogs, weirdly. Like, I'm in a college town, and it seems like more college students have dogs this year. It's been interesting. I'm just seeing more people out and about, and I have to say I like kind of love it. I'm also just having like those little interactions with people in my neighborhood that weren't happening for a long time. So it feels more healthy. And I am finding that I'm feeling more healthy the more time I spend with other people. So it's working. Let's keep doing it. Like, do real things in real life with real people. Let's do it. And now we're going to do our collection based on reading books. So I guess read outside, join a book club. I don't know. All right, let's get on with things. Okay, so this is a poly chiffon, very sheer. This is for things like doing an overlay on a dress or for doing like a gathered skirt. You could also do something like just a sheer blouse would be kind of hot out of this. Wear your pretty undies and have a sassy date blouse. This one's called Synopsis. This is another chiffon, but this one's got a little more interesting details going on. There is a very subtle silver metallic, like hardly any, but there's enough in there to give it just a touch of sparkle. And then it's kind of a clip dot, like these squares are, I guess they're rectangles, are woven in. This one's called Tautology. Again, this one in particular would make a very cool blouse, but you could also use it for overlays, or like, you know, the mesh parts of a fancy dress. I don't know, I'm starting to feel like I want to get dressed up again after wanting to just be in my jammies for several years. Maybe that's coming through in the fabrics I'm selecting. So this is a suiting. It's called Ellipsis. I'm going to call it a boucle. Boucle is like a bumpy fabric. It's got good drape. I'm pretty sure it's stretchy. Let me just, okay, it's not really stretchy. It's a poly rayon blend. So it's kind of got like a salt and pepper look to it. This one's called Quest, and it is very similar to our salt and pepper boucle suiting. It is a boucle suiting, but it is flocked, which is fancy. This paisley pattern is flocked on, so it is a velvet. The paisley is velvet on top of the boucle. So flocked just means they stick the little velvety bits to the fabric. So something like a suit jacket or kind of a looser cardigan jacket out of this would be quite nice if you're wanting to look a little more dressy. You could also do something like a skirt out of it. I would not make pants out of this, but a skirt would be very nice. You could also use it for home dec if you wanted to. This is another poly rayon. All right, this one is a jacquard, which is just a woven pattern. This pattern is woven into the fabric and it is reversible. It's called Soliloquy. So you can use either side, depending on what you want to do here. Again, things like jackets and skirts would be good out of this, and it's a good chunky weight. You could do home dec, like pillows, or you could upholster smaller. We don't have a ton here, but you could upholster something like an ottoman or the seats of cushioned chairs. It would work for that. All right, we have a sweater knit. This one's called Red Herring. It is it's a lighter weight sweater knit. So you make sweaters out of it. You could also do like scarves. This would actually make a super cute scarf. Drapey cardigans, little like cropped cardigans, those kind of things would be very cute out of this. Yeah, this is our one red in the collection, our Red Herring. Okay, another satin. This one's called Thesis. This one's a little bit lighter weight and it's a little bit sheer, but it is incredibly fluid, very floaty and fancy. So again, those fancy blouses or dresses or skirts, just fancier stuff out of these satins. This one's called Playwright, and it is a stretch velvet. So loungewear or drapey cardigan type things. You can see it's got amazing fluid drape to it, and it's stretchy. So stretches this way, stretches a little bit this way. You could do pants out of this, like kind of joggers would be kind of fun out of that, or hoodies, zip jackets, those kind of things. Pullovers, cardigans, cozy stuff. All right, this one's called Neater, and it's a polyacrylic suiting. This one feels really nice. Acrylic is actually quite soft, and this blend has some pretty nice drape to it. Again, it's a suiting, so you make suit stuff out of it. I just like this color. All right, let's get into some of our more natural fibers. This is a cotton velvet. I have a fair amount of velvet in this collection. It feels cozy for winter, you know? So this one being cotton, it feels chunkier, and the drape is not quite so fluid as some of the synthetics. It has a nice sturdy, like smooth and tough cotton back to it. So this would be excellent for a jacket. You could also do a skirt or something out of it. These are kind of fun. These cotton ones are nice to use if you're doing crazy quilting, or just making a quilt. Cotton velvet quilts are kind of a novelty, but they are kind of, I don't want to say the original weighted blanket, but kind of. They make a nice, heavy, comfy quilt. So just something to ponder. This one's called Exposition. All right, this is just a stretch woven cotton. It's called Protagonist, and it's kind of a chunky shirting or a very, very lightweight denim. It's kind of in between. You could use it for trousers. They would be rather thin. You could also use it as a heavier shirt. Maybe something like a tailored dress, like a shirt dress would be the best use, or possibly a skirt, but it's got a lot of potential, and there's just a little bit of stretch to it. It is woven, so you don't get a ton of stretch when you add spandex, but you get a little bit. See, there's just that touch of stretch. So if you do use it for pants, you'll have a little bit of ease in your fabric. All right, now it's rayon time. Rayon's a man-made fiber, but it's made out of plants, so it's biodegradable. So I kind of call it a natural fiber. Meh. It just has amazing drape. So this one's called Prose, and it's a rayon twill. We love this for skirts. Split skirts particularly are very nice out of a rayon twill because it's heavier, but it gives incredible swish to those like secret pants or split skirts. I'm very tempted to make a pair for myself actually, but the swish on this just makes them rather dramatic, and it also kind of kicks up to show off your very cute boots. So highly recommend. This one's called Prose. Got a fairly simple pinstripe here. It's called Subtext. It's just a rayon, a striped rayon. So a lighter weight, but we love this for layering. Rayons are amazing. If you make a rayon dress or skirt, you can wear it in every single season because it layers up so well. It breathes, but there's enough there that you stay warm. It's got amazing drape. You throw on some leggings and some boots with a sweater over your dress, you're fine, you're cozy. You wear just the dress with some sandals, you're breezy, you're not sweaty, it breathes. We love it. So rayon is an excellent thing to add to your wardrobe and definitely worth the time. And classic black pinstripe, can't go wrong. This one's called Quill, and it is a rayon chiffon, which we don't get a lot of. It's got this great bird print on it. It is sheer. It has very fluid drape. and I'm kind of in love. I do think something like a broom skirt out of this would be absolutely adorable. You'll probably want to line it because you can see through it, but the swish is amazing. And I love me a bird print. Okay, we have this one linen, and it's interesting. It's kind of this steely gray. There is a very subtle metallic sheen to this that has just the tiniest touch of blue. It's hard to describe, and I doubt that it's coming through on camera because I can barely see it in person. It's really noticeable out in actual daylight. But other than that, like subtle metallic sheen, it's a linen. So a little bit sheer up to the light, nice lighter weight. This is great for blouses and dresses. I probably wouldn't make pants out of it. I'm not sure it could hold up. It's a little thin for that, but definitely blouses and dresses. All right, let's look at our wools. This one is 100% wool. It's a suiting. It's fairly thin, fairly lightweight. It's got amazing drape. Again, wide leg trousers, the swish will be fierce. And if you are needing to clunk down the hallways being fierce, get you some of this. Really nice wool. Loving this one. And it is called Stanza. This one's called Narrative, and it is a shirting. You can see it's a little bit, I would say it's semi-opaque. Like you can see light through it, but it's not really going to show through when you're wearing it. Button-up shirts, woven tops, that kind of thing would be great out of this. You could also do dresses and skirts from it. It's fairly lightweight. This one's called Adage, and it is a wool crepe, and it's fairly lightweight, just a touch. Actually, it's not see-through. You can see light through it, but I can't really see shapes. It's very, very subtle. But again, an amazing fluid drape, not super itchy. If you have sensitive skin, you will want to line it anyway, but it feels pretty nice. This one would be a really great skirt. It would gather nicely and not be super bulky because it's not a super thick wool, but it would be very warm and very cozy. All right, just to have our silks now. We have a little piece of silk suiting. So jacket, I think a skirt would be amazing out of this one. It's called Denouement, and it's just a kind of a tiny checker woven silk suiting. So very nice drape on this one. It's not super fluid, but it does have a little bit of swish. Again, you could do the wide leg trouser thing. I think though this one might be better as a skirt. You could also probably get a jacket out of this. We don't have a ton. I'm thinking we're like right at 2.5 to 3 yards on this one. So probably only one person will get it, but it's very soft. It feels amazing. Love a silk suiting. This one's called Folklore. You can see it's very fluid. It's a crepe back satin. Just fluid satin. Nice kind of heft to it. It's a little heavier. You can see it wants to pull downward. It's got good gravity. This would just make a dreamy, swishy, very elegant, fancy thing. Formal wear, essentially. Or a fancy blouse. There's a bit of a theme happening here. All right, this last one is a Dupioni silk. It's called Imagery. And Dupioni is cool because it color shifts in the light because they weave two different colors of thread together. So this has kind of a white gray going in one direction and black going in the other. So it does fun things in the light. We like it. It is a little crunchy. It has more of a stiff hand to it. So things like lined jackets that are tailored are very classy out of this. Like a crop jacket, tailored, nice and sharp. Very pretty out of this. It's also good for formal wear. That is our final fabric of this collection. Happy sewing!